What up, people? You're listening to the Atlanta podcast, where we drink local beer and invite you into our unfiltered talks on news and culture in the city of Atlanta. Now, when I say unfiltered, I mean...
He's trying to say we say fuck a lot.
Yeah, it's rated R for, ribbed for your pleasure.
Oh. Nigga.
You like
No
it, right?
lube, bro?
No? Too much?
All right.
Run it back.
Enjoy the show.
You are now in the mix with the Atlanta podcast.
What up, people? Welcome to the Atlanta podcast. It's your boy, Christian.
Justin.
And Myron.
And we're here talking to you about stuff going on in Atlanta. We have a special guest in here today. We have Luis Martinez. You got it?
Fun.
But of course, first, we like to start every episode with a local beer. So, Myron, what we got on tap?
So we got on tap tonight is a double dry hop IPA.
Ooh, double?
Yes.
Double? You say double? I'm sorry.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm good.
You good? You sure? You still?
He's excited we finally got Luis because we were supposed to have him a long time ago because somebody was supposed to ask, but apparently you didn't ask until like the last minute.
Fucking
Wow, is that what we're doing?
I begged to be on the show.
Apparently he was
This breaks my heart.
Y'all don't know this motherfucker.
We were asking you like every week, what's up?
I was asking him every week. Like,
First of all,
hey, please, man. Like,
Myron's just too cool. Just too
now,
cool.
first of all, I'm not gonna blow your spot up right now. But you asking about getting something done on the podcast?
What you mean?
Nigga.
Hold on.
Nigga.
Nah, he ain't lying.
I'm gonna just sip my beer.
So yeah, exactly. Chill the fuck out. But anyway, we got a double dry hop IPA called Medlock from Six Bridges Brewing up in Johns Creek, Georgia. I have never had anything from Six Bridges yet, so I'm excited.
Ooh.
I'm excited. Luis already cracked his shit open.
I did not.
opened mine too.
It was, you gave it to me open and used.
Oh,
that's true. Look how you treated it.
Myron's truths are so different.
Yes.
Myron's truths are.
Did something happen that you didn't tell
There's
us
the
about?
truth, and then there's the Myron truth. It's different.
So
It's a
you-
little different.
See,
The thing is,
it be your own ones.
I'm winning right here. You guys are seeing this truth coming from me.
Yeah,
I'm these
yeah.
facts
The
right
Myron
now.
truth is like, it sounds right, but it's a little off.
So it be your own ones. You see how quick Christian and Justin.
It's a lot off.
That is him.
What do you mean?
That is you.
I let it be known that it's half-assed.
Or like no ass at
It's
all.
half-assed in that research.
No research. You're just like, oh yeah, I heard and read, and it's like, what?
My friend.
Right.
Yo, I got a friend.
And we know you don't have friends, so
He works for Elon Musk, and guess what's happening?
Stop it. Anyway.
but yeah, the IPA color is nice, opaque, straw colored nose. Get a lot of piney, resiny notes in there.
Did you get in there?
Yeah. Oh
get
yeah.
all the way
You
in?
want me
You
to
gotta waft. You
Nah,
gotta waft
you
that thing.
You gotta waft that thing. Yeah, you
Get
do.
the flavors.
Oh, this is really good.
It's good. Yeah.
You get some like low citrus notes, almost like
That's
pineapple.
Really good.
Almost like
we
pineapple from the
had
hops.
this before.
No, we haven't
No.
had anything from Six Bridges.
Yeah, we
I've
had
had this one before. I've had a beer you haven't had.
Really?
Yeah, I was hanging out with fancy friends.
I like this.
Oh.
Oh, you got fancy friends?
I got a couple of them.
Oh shit. All right.
Fancy friends?
He ain't got no
Of the
fancy.
female persuasion.
Right. No, this is dope.
He is of the gutter.
No, this is dope. Medlock. Double dry hop IPA.
Shout out to Six Bridges.
This is
They
delicious.
invited us out there. To,
Yeah, you went out there.
Get some of their beer. There's some pretty cool people.
I really like this.
I'm sorry, Six Bridges, but I'm kind of surprised.
Why you say that?
I don't know. I just,
Well, they are a new brewery.
you don't expect like heavy competition coming out of like outside
Out the gate.
of like Atlanta a little bit. Johns Creek.
I don't know where Johns Creek is.
But-
No,
but they-
I think that we have really good breweries outside of the perimeter.
Well, there
Yes,
is
Variant.
Street.
Cherry Street.
Riverwatch is delicious.
Variant.
Wild Leap was voted our best brewery, and that's out.
Wild Leap makes some dope
Wild
shit.
Leap is the best.
it's
In LaGrange.
voted one of our best from last year.
They
Remember
make
those
killer
guys when they used
IPAs.
to work at Red Brick.
Yeah.
Because they used to, like,
Cherry
there's a
Street
few
is
of them used to
delicious.
work at Red
Cherry Street is really good. Variant is dope.
Yeah, good wood.
Pontoon.
Goodwood is doing some really good.
Oh yeah, that's the homie.
man.
That's the homie. Todd and Ryan.
Brick. Okay, well, fuck what I said. I'm not the beer guy.
I didn't know I could drop it like that.
This is
was like, cut your little argument apart, dog.
This is what I warned you about.
that
Luis
shit.
comes in and he starts talking shit about everybody
you sound
here.
like a fucking idiot.
You never heard of Goodwood, my nigga?
And the pages turn.
No, for Trump.
Well, you are in Lawrenceville, so we already know you're a Republican. So
You know it.
he actually doesn't like you being on here right now. So let's start out. Luis, who is Luis Martinez? I mean, other than the fucking asshole that I've known for like damn near 5 years now, right?
I know.
That's the wrong one.
Shit.
V-T-H-E, and then you'll get it. T-H-E. What's the V for?
V?
Oh, T.
V?
Sorry. So I'm trying to. So I'm literally trying to
Wanna
find
translate?
the podcast on the phone, and
He needs to translate.
I couldn't.
The Atlanta podcast.
It's The Simpsons. The Atlanta podcast. Who am I? I don't know. I am.
You don't know?
No, I don't know, man.
It's fucking bullshit.
I am who I am, but I can tell you that
You Popeye?
I'm Popeye. I am. Oh, what I can say is that I've lived here for over 20 years, and I found
Atlanta?
myself in Atlanta, and I found
Okay.
myself wanting to do something different for the city, and that's what I've done for 20 years because I've always wanted to do something else. From coming from a different country to United States or wherever I lived, and that's what I can tell you. That's who I am. You know.
I do want to attest to that. You, all jokes aside, you are one of the most caring and hardworking people that I know.
Oh.
Thank you.
You-
I
I mean,
will agree with the hard
is a
work and not the
moment.
caring.
You really do. under all the shit talk, Luis really does care a lot about people in general. He really is a good friend. I always have fun.
Oh,
I'll have
moment
fun hanging
face.
around.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Let's not get too serious.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
I'm
it's real
saying.
early, guys.
It's good. And plus,
We can cry. I love crying.
no, I haven't seen Luis in a while
Cry all
because.
day.
Okay,
So-
okay, calm down over there, Dad.
Do you guys want to know more? He hasn't seen me in a while because he doesn't invite me to his house. This is my first time I've ever been to his house.
That's kind of
You've known each other for 5 years now. Damn near 5 years.
Sweet to you, and then you don't hear from him. He's like a bad relationship.
He invited you in the
It's abusive. It is.
Fuck that guy. That's what I'm talking about. You want to join the podcast?
Isn't it funny that you invited me to Myron's house?
How fucked up is that? And y'all was supposed to be boys. How do y'all know each other?
damn near 5 years now.
Well, so Luis couldn't come over here because I built the wall.
It's funny because he's not Mexican.
I know.
But what I gotta say, that fucks it all up because you were saying it's working. You see, man, no.
See, this
Black guy let him in.
Myron and I know each other from working at Orpheus. So we started humbly working at Orpheus behind the, it wasn't even behind the bar. It was just like volunteer.
Yeah.
Before the laws even changed, where tasting rooms needed the tickets. And we worked together. It's been 5 years because we still go back. I know you still work there, but I still go
Every
back
now
on the
and then,
anniversaries. And we connected through there. And the original Orpheus crew is like tight. Like it doesn't matter where people are, we still talk, we still connect.
Ooh, back in the
You got a
day.
group chat?
Yeah, y'all taking any applications for group chats, or you have to have been in the original?
I mean, now that you understand our friendship, do you really want to be in that?
You're right. You're right.
Very true.
Man,
I don't need that
points.
abuse.
So you said you were here for 20 years.
Yeah, I
Where were
moved
you
here in
before?
1996, Puerto Rico. So
Puerto Rico.
I moved our family.
Terrible.
I didn't move because at that age you don't move. Your parents move you.
Yeah.
I followed my parents here.
Yeah, basically, they put me in a suitcase and they were like, "You gotta." And
Put you in the overhead bin.
Yeah, so we don't pay for that ticket because they were trying to save that money.
Yeah, of course. So you had a passport at that age?
No, you didn't need a passport. Oh, that's it. I was like, he was like, "What now?" This black man has it fucked up. I don't trust this. No, so we did move here in 1996. I didn't need a passport at that time. But then again, I don't even know. I actually don't remember our flight. I don't remember anything about that. I do know that we moved here. We moved to Gwinnett. My family is now back in Puerto Rico. And I stayed with my sister, and we're the only people here. My entire family lives in Puerto Rico.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, what part?
A little bit of all over, but I can say Juana Diaz, which is close to Ponce. Most of my family lives there. My mother lives where the hurricane actually entered, Maria. Humacao. She lives right on that edge of where it entered. And then I have some family in the city, but mostly concentrated in the south.
Yeah. Awesome. Was she there like before?
Yeah. I mean, my entire family was there, man. Like, I didn't hear from my family for 3 months. So my brother was actually supposed to, so I'm going to say this because it's Dames and Dregs. So when you guys go to the festival, it's really exciting. My brother flies in the 8th of August. And me, my sister, and my brother haven't been together since 4 years ago. But he was supposed to fly in the day before Maria happened in September for my birthday to go on a trip together with Samantha Burkowskis and all that. Do you remember?
Yeah.
And it's been that long since we've been together in one same space, and he's coming for Dames and Dregs, and he'll be there. So yeah, it's gonna be it's moment. It's big. It's big.
Family reunion.
Yeah, but my entire family was there. Yeah. They also arrived. They're all great. Thank you. So.
Excellent.
So you're very into your heritage with Puerto Rico.
Yes.
What do you think about the situation with the governor?
The governor.
This is a good question. I'm super excited about it because being over here, and when I first moved here, people didn't even know what Puerto Rico was. Like, I had teachers that really did ask me that question that you had, do you have an immigration card? Like, you know what I mean? When I first moved here, I went to Dyer Elementary, and during elementary class, I'm going to tell you this really quick story. The first time I ever saw Puerto Rico in a textbook or in a class, they showed a video of kids running in the dirt without shoes. So that was the interpretation that the other kids in the class, which were mostly Caucasian, had of me. Like, I'd never worn shoes, so they were looking at me. I didn't know English. Yeah. I had no idea what their culture was. They had no idea what my culture was. So we were they were trying to ask me questions that I had no idea.
They pulled the class money to give you some shoes. They were what the fuck?
We got you some Nike.
Great.
Yeah, what the fuck? Back, there was probably a shoe donation box. They
mean well.
Let's get this man some shoes.
But yeah, so going to that, to actually being on the news. So number one, that's really exciting because no matter what, I think what people have seen within the last 3 years is the resilience that Puerto Rican people have. And also the adequacy to be peaceful. There was no crime, there was no assaults, there was no anger coming out of us. And one of the first things that people talk about our people, and I will say this through minorities as a whole, is that we're aggressive. We're an aggressive community. There was nothing that happened in Puerto Rico. It was completely a peaceful protest. And it's also the definition of the voice of the people. People can stick together and make a change. You just got to pull through, And I think it was a moment where all Puerto Ricans, the last day when he resigned, there was 1.5 million people that were accounted for that united in Puerto Rico. I think that is beautiful and it's huge. So, yes, I'm super excited about this. To answer your question, I'm excited, but it's not over yet. And I don't want to sit here and tell you, this is great, because it's not. This is the start of something. So if I sit here and say, it's great, I'm just feeding the fire of calming down. And I think that now that the people have the power, you got a clean government, man. And I think that if we are able to stick together and continue the fight, we are going to be a really good, face to what people can do in the government. And if we can do it, we can do it.
Facts.
And I speak for both places. So
Right, because this is now where the change begins.
this is where the change begins.
But it's still the work still has to get put in.
Everybody that worked for him was correct. Everybody was in the writings. Everybody was in the chatter. Everybody that worked under him had his same practices. It's not just one person. It's your
never
entire administration.
Yeah.
So if you're all doing the same, if one person's doing something, everybody's doing
Especially
something.
for the head guy.
But the things that, I don't know if you guys were able to get your hands on what was said, but the things that were said, man, come
The
on.
recordings.
Come on.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were rough.
What was said?
Things from,
it's-
man, I'll give you one.
Okay.
So in January, there was this protest where women were protesting in Puerto Rico due to our regulations to domestic violence. And they went to the Capitol and they fought and fought and fought for better domestic violence rights. During that time, these motherfuckers, because that's the only name that they have,
Right.
were chatting about these bitches. I hope we kill these bitches, using the word puta, which means bitch, but in a very puta is more it's rough. It's like a really tough, like it's different. It has a different connotation mostly
It's
when you're
tougher than bitch.
It's just when you call a woman
started
puta in
using that.
Spanish,
It's bitch in all caps.
Bitch with
yeah.
It's no fun. It's no fun in that bitch.
A lot of people here are like, oh, bitch this, bitch.
Yeah.
You don't go around with your friends and being like, puta this, puta this. Like, it's different.
Oh.
So it
Like,
really
that's
comes with a strong
like, you're not a
connotation.
bad puta.
Yeah,
It's not
I
a
mean,
bad
some people
bitch.
do, but it's not like, I'll be like, bitch, come on. Like,
Yeah.
don't do that.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? So, yeah, I mean, his language towards just that piece was just to begin with. That was just that while they were protesting on the streets.
Like, yeah, the text message, the
dead of
text
the
group was
hurricane,
crazy.
too, were
It
talked
was
about, right?
800 pages of it. There was a
That's a lot of
there was a
putas.
comment.
a Bible of
It wasn't just that.
Just that. No,
it was
no,
a whole lot
they
of
said
shit.
that they wish that people in Puerto Rico drown after Maria. Don't you wish they drowned? Like, I mean,
Ain't they Puerto Rican?
There
Yes.
was one comment. There was one
see the
comment that
problem,
said,
right?
yeah, there was one comment that said, we are working for a Puerto Rico without Puerto Ricans, which is, he's pro statehood. And there was like one comment that he's like, yeah, wait until we're Puerto Rico without Puerto Ricans, which is, we are
The craziest shit
it's
ever.
crazy as fuck. So,
That's nuts to say.
yeah. Yeah.
He-
so-
Damn.
He's homeboys with Trump.
Yeah.
I mean, but the thing is, by the way, you say that, but during this entire time, Trump did not tweet about Puerto Rico, not even once.
I only reason
That's
I know
true.
about it is because of him.
He gives zero fucks.
Because of me.
He gives
Yeah,
zero
the wifey.
fucks. Trump gives zero fucks about who we are. Like, he owes Puerto Rico like $96 million because he was starting to build like a
All Latinos
golf
are Mexican
place
now.
and he never finished it.
He
Like,
does that all the
Yeah,
time.
yeah,
He's a piece of shit when it comes to that.
Yeah.
I don't know why people keep doing business with him.
Yeah.
Like he just fucks over
Why do
whoever
people
he
keep liking him? That's the question.
It's got to be more to it. He's got
I
to made
mean-
a deal with the devil or...
No, or
It's gotta be
America
some-
is just inherently
I
racist.
feel like when you see him in person, there's got to be some charm.
I
for
think there's just more to
everybody.
it.
Just
I think
be like,
somebody might have got that 96 million.
he had a
Just wasn't
school and
Puerto
nobody
Rico.
got a degree, and he's not in jail.
I think
he literally just he recently made a blatant racist comments toward U.S. citizens, and Republicans didn't even say the shit was racist.
because Republicans are also fucked up.
They were just like,
Democrats are fucked up. Republicans are
Everybody's
fucked up.
fucked up.
Everybody's fucked up.
yeah, it's two sides of the same coin. You know,
Everybody's fucked up. But the point is that if people stick together, we can make a change, man. And Puerto Rico just literally showed that in
Yeah.
10 days.
So speaking of making a change,
What's
tell us about Dames and Dregs.
Well, Dames and Dregs is a beer festival celebrating the history of beer. And in time, women are the original beer makers. They brewed over 300 years before men took that lead, I guess. And, as I'm a guy, it happens all the time, right? Oh, you don't know? I'm telling you. The thing is, and it's celebrating that heritage, and it's actually started at Orpheus. There was a presentation from a professor at Emory that was doing a study and a talk on sour beer. And during this presentation, he mentioned that women were the original beer makers. And I was like, what's going on? What is this? Is this real? I looked it up. And it was. And that's when it all hit me because it kind of just made sense.
So men appropriated beer from women?
I mean, is that weird?
And then we just erased them from the book?
Yeah,
Like,
erased them from the book.
It's like that never happens.
I've never heard that before. I don't know what you're talking about.
And they're definitely the original brewers because they're the bearer of all of us.
Yes, they are. And that's the thing. So you hit it on the spot. I actually love the idea that women were the original brewers because if you taste a beer, I think women can define flavor in different ways that men can. And I think we wouldn't
Breast
be
milk.
able to get, women just don't taste that. They make it.
yeah.
So
They brew it up.
yeah, so I'm just saying, like,
I'ma
their
taste
flavor, you're about to, you're gonna be like, what is that Jim Carrey on Me, Myself, and I? He, like, Jim Carrey pushes that baby to the other side.
Farm to table.
Right.
What a great conversation while talking about Dave's and Dregs. How appropriate.
Our listeners hate us.
No, I just think it's beautiful the fact that the flavors that we all love really came from that. And, you know, men were the gatherers, women were the makers, and that existed for so long. So, yeah, that's what Dames and Dregs is. It's a celebration of that history. In the city of Atlanta, we were the third festival in the entire nation to do so.
Oh,
And,
wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
big.
So it's super exciting. And this is our second year.
So what can people expect at the festival? If they go to the festival, they buy a ticket right now. It's the first time they're going. What can they expect to see, experience?
I have to say that they're going to expect something or they're about to experience something that you can't experience in Atlanta, period. Not because it's a festival that I'm part of. It's just because there's nothing like it in the city.
Okay.
So $35, which is, we want to be accessible. We want it to be realistic for people to spend a day in downtown Atlanta.
Do you charge more for men?
We should. Oh,
Yeah.
We should.
That would be dope.
I will not protest.
Is it extra $5
We
or
welcome everybody. We welcome dames, sirs, and everybody in between. We want everybody to come. And with $35,
Everybody?
everyone. We want everyone to come.
So if Trump showed up, you'd be like,
Hey, you know what? If he wants to go over there and be part of it, hell yeah.
As long as he purchases a ticket.
Hell yeah.
though.
As long as he purchases a ticket.
He better purchase a ticket.
And he, as long as he doesn't provide any negativity to what we're making, absolutely.
I heard he's
Like,
fun at the party.
Do you? Who told you that? Who told you that?
Well, this is 90s Trump. Back when he used to hang out with rappers.
I can't.
They
I
said it
can't
was
with you.
fun. They said it was fun.
I don't even know how to look at your.
the worst people
Democrat.
are fun. The
Disappear.
worst people are fun.
Yeah.
I'm fun at parties. No.
No.
Oh, you're right. You're right.
But
I'm a
they're going to be
terrible
able to
human.
experience 40 breweries, 123 beers, unlimited,
Ooh.
and this is unlimited amounts of beer and cocktails. And all our breweries, what we want to do is celebrate the women that work within each brewery. So each brewery that is part of Dames and Dregs is either owned, co-owned, managed, or has more than one woman that have worked for the organization for a year or longer.
Oh, okay.
And they have a lead position. They're going to experience 4 panels completely free. Community, agriculture, science, beer, and then entrepreneurship. And I know you guys are going to be talking to Jen Price. She's going to be leading one of those panels.
Yes.
Dope.
And
Shout
then 3 stages. One which was is curated by Bullet Music, led
Shout
by
out.
Liz Pena, which she was the and that stage has things like a burlesque show, a comedy hour, 2 bands. We have somebody that's going to be doing aerial arts, an arts market, 30 art vendors, woman-owned art vendor,
Nice.
like a whole art market. We have a stage that's all DJs. We have a gaming area where people are going to be able to play like nostalgia games.
Are you serious?
Gamecast, Nintendo 64. We're going to have a Dance Dance Revolution contest on stage.
That's all you had to say. I'll be there.
snap.
DDR? Fuck yeah.
we
I have to
have
skip my daughter's dance
Yeah.
rehearsal.
She'll be all right.
food.
Bring it to DDR. There's there.
Yes, there's there. Carnival games, man. It's 6 hours, but it's 6 hours packed of. I can keep listing.
You
things
won't
that are
get
gonna be
bored. It
happening.
sounds like.
No,
Yeah.
it's-
So you have to come again. And
That's what
again.
we want. We
And
want people
again.
to not be able to experience everything that's happening in that venue in 6 hours. We want them to be able to have to come back and be like, oh man, I need to do this next year.
That's what's
So,
up.
It's a different experience. It's great beer. We brewed 12 beers in collaboration with different breweries this year.
Oh, nice.
You keep
Yes.
saying we. You might have said it earlier.
Absolutely.
But who is we?
So I am not one person. we is Rebecca, Royster, and I.
Shout out to Rebecca.
Yeah,
Rebecca's a
she's not
homie,
here.
too.
She is in Portugal right now, and she's vacationing on a beach.
Nice.
Beaches.
But the
Just
thing
getting
is,
ready for the storm.
But we also means partnerships. We means the people that are part of Dames and Dregs are volunteers, are partners that make it happen. Our breweries are supporters, and the city. That is we. Without them, we would not be
Right.
Dames and Dregs.
So with that, I know that there are special kegs, special beers brewed just for Dames and Dregs, and they're brewed by the women that are part of these breweries.
That is correct.
Special shout out to Sam Barkowskis, who is our homie from Orpheus, and they're brewing a beer. The beer that they had last year was dope.
It was voted the best beer at the festival.
Yes.
In Reddit.
Oh, cool.
And in Untapped.
So do
Oh, so is like a competition going
It's not.
on?
It just happened. It was organic.
Yeah.
It was just happened.
It was just good.
Is there
Yeah,
gonna
yeah.
be like
It was
a
just
ticket you
people
write
started
in?
talking about the beers that we brewed. So last year we had 4. This year we have 12.
Dang.
Oh wow,
Yes.
That's what's up.
Wow. Nice.
We have Scepter Arts Brewing, Orpheus, Printer's Ale, Academia, Monday Night, New Realm, Orpheus,
Dang.
Lost Druid.
God damn.
A couple new ones in there too.
couple-
Scepter Lost Druid just opened up.
I was gonna say, I haven't heard of Lost Druid. I was like, it's a dope
God, and I
name.
can continue on that list.
Yeah, no, but it's a lot. But
Zelda.
Shit.
I do like the fact that
3 taverns.
in 3 taverns, I do like the fact that obviously
Anheuser?
Eventide.
get out of here. Get out of here.
Do you guys want to know a story about them?
What?
Yeah.
So last year,
Spill the beans.
last year it was
with
like
the tea.
2:00, and I get a message.
He's
on the
about to
radio,
break my heart.
And they were like, "Oh, go upstairs. Like Budweiser's here." And I was like, "What? What?" So I go upstairs. A rep from Budweiser shows up, and he's like, "Oh, we get passes for my team." And I was like, "You what? You don't know? You get passes for your team?"
They just
Get-
showed up?
50 people showed up with Anheuser, like Budweiser. And then they gave away free cans of Budweiser. And then there were cans all over the place.
Are you
Yeah,
serious?
yeah.
What?
Anywho, that's some tea.
That happened last year?
Yep.
Oh,
Yeah.
Wait.
suck them more.
So I said no. You
Yeah,
can't.
yeah.
Yeah. First of all, they're not part of the festival. And not that,
Yeah.
no, thank you. Like
They just
with-
showed
yeah,
up,
Yeah.
just-
No, thank you. But yeah, they just showed
Was
up.
it like day of?
so
Yes, like at the door, like they called me on the radio. They're like, "Hey, somebody from Budweiser's here. Can we let him in?" And I was like, "What? Okay, let me go up there and just check it out." 50 people with that guy. It was like 42 to be exact.
Yeah.
So they just showed up, out of nowhere.
Were they
Took
all
over.
employees, or there's like one guy with?
I don't
Like,
know.
I'm gonna bring 50 of my.
To be
boys.
honest
I work
with you,
I work with Anheuser.
I don't know, and I wish I cared.
Did they
But
just
Yeah.
have, did the 42 people have like just cases of beer or something? Like,
I guess they had. Well, I guess their goal was to like promote,
Yeah.
whatever. But they gave while people walked out. I guess they gave them cans of whatever because people found cans of beer. And
wow.
Damn, Justin, you missed out on all those lime margaritas.
I was there.
you were there. Yeah. Did you have fun?
I told Bud.
No.
He wasn't.
You weren't there.
He was not. He, was
Okay.
drink- he drinks shitty beer, so
Yeah.
that's why.
Oh, really? Do you?
Yeah.
I'm from St. Louis.
So?
We drink Bud Light. They employ half
Welcome
the
to
city.
our life.
Thank you.
Damn, bro. Like,
you.
if somebody from St. Louis is listening to this.
Yeah.
East
What's your
Louis,
address?
East Boogie.
I do thoroughly enjoy the fact that these beers are brewed by the women of all the partners of the breweries. Like it's great to see. Like I love to see it on IG, Facebook, whatever. That the women are. It's totally a festival about women, through and through.
It really is. Rebecca deals with all the beer side. I don't brew the beer. I'm not part of that. And I feel that if I was part of that, it would just take away from the magic of
Exactly.
what we're trying to create. So this year she launched we launched something called We Brew. And it all came about the Me Too movement. But we didn't want to focus on the negative sides of any movement. We want to focus on the positive.
Yeah.
And the festival is positive because it doesn't matter that women weren't acknowledged for a certain period of time. They're being acknowledged now, and that's the start of something new. Once
Yeah,
again,
that's
it's
the
like
start of
the
it.
start of something new, but you don't want to stop there. You want to continue. So We Brew is something that Rebecca came up with, and I think it's beautiful. And it's the project. It's the project of her brewing with all these organizations and women. Creature Comforts. Creature Comforts has 28 women that work for them out of 99 employees.
That's a
amazing.
third.
Sweetwater has 50 women that they employ.
Dope.
she's met with smaller breweries like Printer's Ale this year, and they brewed a beer called Jessica, based a name on one of their employees. They went over there.
Cool.
Eventide brewed a Grisette. Scepter. It was great because Trevor Jones, which is a buddy of ours from Orpheus, which now is the brewmaster at Scepter, they brewed a beautiful beer. It's going to be a sparkling ale. But
Fancy.
It was great because he let Rebecca take the realm and like really take the lead on that. And seeing all that come together from the outside is magical. And it's beautiful to see Rebecca. She takes off work, it doesn't matter what, because she gets excited over this. This is her passion no matter what.
It's not work.
It's not work. And just to see her passion when she comes back and the stories, how they came up with the name and being in that industry. And it's just beautiful. We're actually making a wall of the We Brew movement. And basically, it's a wall of the women that we've been able to gather that are behind the brands. And right now, we have 56 more accepting wall. And we have 56 women. And it's beautiful creating it because all the titles are different. They're from owner to tasting room to account manager to production manager. There's women everywhere. And the fact that it continues to grow and we're a part of that and hopefully we started something is in Atlanta is all that matters. We're in the South. We're queer, Black-owned organization, minority-owned organization. I mean, it's crazy that we're we're like punching guts. You know what I mean? Like, it's just amazing.
Like, it's since you bring that up, a lot of people being in Atlanta, Metro Atlanta, of course, people are more or less progressive in Metro Atlanta, but they still don't know the people that are behind their favorite brands or festivals, whatever. And then when they see, they get a little surprised. And it's like, oh, okay, I didn't know it was that progressive. It's like, okay, yeah, it is. That progressive, right? Like some people are just like, and then he's like, yes, it is, and you love us.
But we've tried to stay true. I don't know if you guys have seen our advertisement, but we've tried to stay true to who we are, no matter what. Our main symbol is a fist because we are a movement. We're not just a beer festival. We're a community movement. We want people to get together. We want people to celebrate. We want people to acknowledge each other. We want to welcome everyone. But more than all, we want people to have a day where they actually celebrate the women that are part of each and every organization. Just give them a day. Give them a moment. Give them a stage for them to enjoy that. And we've never lied to who we are since day one. It's you like us or you don't. But if you do, thank you.
Exactly.
Yeah. And if you don't, it's okay.
Oh, damn. Okay.
If you don't, you're missing out on stuff.
Really gotta get to this festival. Shit.
So that's the Dames and Dregs Fest. What is...
Are we rolling back to the culture?
Oh, well, I want to know from Luis, what are you right now curious about? I mean, you do a lot. So, I mean, obviously this is on your plate. This is the next big thing coming up, in August. August 10th.
August 10th.
To be exact.
General admission is $35. VIP is $50, and VIP is amazing.
Oh, wait a minute. You hear about a VIP? Oh, wait a minute. Let's go to that.
We have VIP passes, $50. All 12 beers that we brewed are going to be brewed up there. Unlimited tastings of that. Cocktails, AC, bathrooms, catered food.
Yo, the AC is clutch.
Coffee. It
AC
is.
in Atlanta.
So it's the bathrooms.
It is. Yep. Private bathrooms, AC. It's a whole venue that we set up for people in VIP, charging stations for your phone.
Ooh.
That's also
free
clutch.
Catering, free food, free snacks, a swag bag that is like filled with great goods. We kind of want to make a little kind of festival for people that are in VIP. So if they get too hot or they just want to chill, they still enjoy the festival.
Yeah.
So you get like 2 festivals.
You get 2 festivals.
Oh, so
be down
that's I didn't know about. Okay.
Can males get
35
males
or
can get
50
VIP,
for VIP.
right? We can,
Anyone can get it.
anyone.
So the thing is, the festival.
That would be kind of dope if it was like
festival-
women only VIP.
Here we go. Come on.
I would actually like that.
Oh yeah, but you wouldn't be able to buy a ticket for it.
For my wife?
Oh, okay.
I want her to do it.
Y'all just have separate experiences.
That's how he fixes what he just said.
Yeah, that's
Fix what I just said. I said I would love
That's just
that.
to act up.
yeah.
Babe, you in the VIP? I'm gonna just go down with the guys. I guess I'll go hang with them.
Yeah.
Y'all see how y'all do y'all twist shit?
Ain't nobody twisting. Anyway.
No, so what were you asking?
So what is on your horizon outside of Dames and Dregs?
I don't know.
What are you curious about? What is your next venture? What do you want to pop off?
You know, Dreams and Dregs is something that you knew about even before it launched. Like, you knew secrets about this.
And still didn't invite you on the podcast.
He didn't.
Or to his house.
So,
Damn.
I thought about Dames and Dregs when I was in China 3 years ago.
Oh, wow.
And it all started when I was literally in China. I came back to Orpheus, told everybody about it. I was like, I have an idea. We really want to do this.
What made you think of it in China?
So going to China made me realize that women, when they get off work, they go out for a beer. Mm-hmm. And they meet.
Big
and
facts.
They talk just to drink.
They do what guys do?
Yep.
Like humans.
Like humans.
Oh, my bad.
Like regular old humans.
Dang,
And that
I did do
made
that.
me realize, and they drink really fresh beer. So a lot of lagers, a lot of light beers. It's very, very just like nice drinking, very crisp beer. And I think that made me realize that this phenomenon is worldwide. I've had traveled to Europe, but going to Asia and being part of that culture for an entire month and like living with people that work there and being part of all that.
You were there for a month?
Because I was working.
That was for work. I remember.
That was, yeah. So being
What
there.
kind of work was that?
That's a whole different story.
Actually, no. I want to tell them.
Oh, man, you were
you
way
were-
better than me.
So no, when I tell y'all, when I said earlier at the beginning of this
beer,
episode that Luis was one of the most caring and the most hardworking people, that was not an exaggeration.
You didn't tell us he was in the CIA.
Luis
I'm
does,
only here to capture your information.
Luis does fucking everything.
Yeah.
So no, tell them where you were working.
I used to work for a company.
Yeah,
that
you don't.
manufactures.
The company?
She was amazing. It's a woman-owned company. She's here in Georgia. Her name is Anissa Telwar Kaker. And she manufactures and designs makeup brushes for most of the makeup brush industry that we have in stores right now. So for companies like Estee Lauder, Lancome, like all these giant companies, she manufactures in China and she owns her own factory. And being part of her company, she built me to be who I am today. And
this was the fucking man that made it run.
Yeah, I worked in the West Coast piece.
Yeah.
And she has people in London. She has a team of, which has so many people. But I was part of the West Coast team and I was able to go to China and work in the factory and be part of all that. So,
Damn.
yeah.
And he was working there.
Well, I was working at Orpheus.
And Orpheus.
All right, we get
and
it.
thinking of the fest.
get it.
I say,
You're awesome. Okay. No,
Luis is the dude.
I like to work.
Yeah, awesome.
I like to work.
One thing that I wanted to talk about, because we were talking about your culture earlier. I know you're doing something now. Can you talk about?
Yeah, so outside of Dames and Dregs, so to answer your first question, I call myself a curator and innovator. I like to innovate things. I think everything under the sun exists. I just like to be part of it and innovate it in my own way. So with that, I have a food pop-up. I've cooked since I could remember, and it's me and my sister and I, and we make Puerto Rican food that is inspired by our grandmothers, and our pop-up is called My Abuela's Food. And
For those who don't know Spanish, what does that mean in English?
grandmother.
Grandmother.
My grandmother's. And we make Puerto Rican food in the city. We do a pop-up. We launched last year. And man, when I tell you we launched, it was crazy. Like we did our first pop-up and we sold out in an hour.
Oh, shit.
I had no idea what to do. We had no idea. We're not on Facebook. We don't have a website. We just do Instagram. And people were coming out left and right. We were like, what do we do? Like, I had never cooked in a professional kitchen before.
That's what happens when you wash your chicken.
Yep.
That's what happens.
And
It's a conversation we had off air.
That's what happens.
wash
yeah.
your chicken.
Basically, wash everything. Like, bring it in a tub with you. Get some
Take a
dial
shower
soap.
with it.
Wash your meat.
Yes.
Wash all the meat.
Do everything.
And your veggies.
And your veggies, please. Your veggies.
And your veggies.
Your veggies for sure.
Not just the meat.
So, veggies. So that's what it is. It's my Abuela's. We want to bring our community to Georgia. Like I said, I believe in making a change wherever I am.
That's
and
what's up.
the only way I can do that is being true to myself. And the only thing that I am attached to in my personal being is my heritage. The only thing that makes who I am is my culture, is the people that fought for me, the people that gave me life, my blood, my intuition, and all that came from my history. And if I don't pay attention to that, or if I don't give that the spotlight that it needs, I don't think that I can be my true self.
I get that.
So
with that being said, what are one of the one or two of the most popular items that
In
you
that-
that you cook?
Roll down the
I'm
list.
gonna be
Go
really
through
honest.
all the dishes.
So
what's going on?
rice and beans are people like even Andy. You know Andy.
Oh,
Andy. So
he
Andy
went
doesn't
crazy
like
over that?
beans. And he was like, all I would eat is rice and beans. So my beans are legit. I just
He
made them
washes the
yesterday.
beans.
What
I just
kind of
made it
beans
yesterday.
is
So-
arroz con condules?
No,
or-
arroz con gandules, so those are peas.
That's right.
Stupid.
So no. I mean, like,
Yeah, but he's still learning. I mean, he's speaking better knows more Spanish than all of us.
No, I'm just
So.
playing, I'm just playing.
yeah, I
didn't
mean,
know
you
what that
can't.
was.
Yeah, I mean, we just found out the shit he makes. So take it slow. Take it slow. Like calm down. Yeah, peas. I'm kidding. No. Do you have subtitles for this? I'm kidding. No. So
Pigeon peas.
no. So there's all kinds of beans, man. There's pink beans, there's red beans, there's black beans, there's garbanzos. The stew that I make with my beans is really popular. But I'm gonna tell you my favorite that I've made so far.
Let's hear it.
And I hadn't had pork, and I'm a vegetarian, so I strictly cook on scent. So I season
A
stuff.
Puerto Rican that doesn't eat pork.
I
Get
only
the fuck out of
season
here.
stuff by smell.
Oh,
I can
wow.
tell if things are
Anymore.
salty or cooked or whatever. No, what do you mean? I still don't eat meat.
No, yeah, anymore. But as a kid,
Yeah, as a kid, I ate pork my entire
Yeah, right,
left
exactly.
and right.
Yeah.
You
Right.
know, with like my bit, like milk, pork juice, and
toothpaste. Oh, bacon. Oh,
yeah, a little like pork sauce. And that. Yeah, you want to dip that apple in pork sauce? Like, so for real, like in Puerto Rico, it's either that or fabuloso. But you know what I mean? It's either like apples with fabuloso, apples with pork. What do you want? Which one do you want? So, my favorite thing that I've ever made so far is I made a vegan pork sandwich. And I hadn't tried it. So we did sandwiches twice. So we never duplicate a menu. We
That's what
always
I was
make
gonna
different
ask.
menus
Okay.
every time. However, we did sandwiches at the Spindle and people went crazy. We made 250 sandwiches. People were like living for them. I was like, shit, this is amazing. We're going to do sandwiches again. We went to Joystick.
Yeah,
Made
I remember that.
389 sandwiches in one night.
At Joystick?
Joystick.
Yeah.
Shit was like lit.
That's right. The street.
So everybody was like, man, this vegan sandwich. Kendall was talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
People were just like, people that ate pork were like, I couldn't tell that this wasn't. So I hadn't tried it. So I made it. The day afterwards, I was
But
in
it
my
was
house.
vegan. You could have tried it.
I know,
though,
but
right?
the thing is, when you're a chef, I don't know if other chefs, we don't eat our food. Like, I make it. I made 300 of them. Like, I don't want to eat it. But
yeah,
the
but
next
that
day, I
one.
was in my house, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to make the sandwich. And when I put that sandwich in my mouth,
Yeah.
I was like, God damn.
Look what I did.
I hadn't eaten pork in 16 years.
So you made it with real pork?
No, the
No,
jackfruit.
it was totally vegan.
Totally vegan. Vegan mayonnaise, vegan cheese.
Okay,
This man his head just exploded. This head just exploded.
He was like, wait a minute.
It's like
but
you're talking quantum physics to me right now. Like, how do you
My
say
feet got a little
good?
light. I got a little
pork
light.
vegan, right?
No, it was.
I gotta go to the next one.
It was so good. So that's one of the. And then my pork. That's the real pork is the top favorite thing. It goes out if I have it on a menu.
Delicious.
It's done. I slow cook it for 24 hours, and people like love this.
Oh, you do it like a porchetta or
Nope, I put a whole
Butt.
butt
pork butt?
and
Okay.
I roast it for 24 hours.
Nice.
Ain't nothing like that pork, but
Right.
You gotta rub it. You gotta treat it well.
Slap it.
You gotta do things to it, and then you let it marinate. For
ain't no
24
Me Too
hours.
in pork, but
Then some chicharrones. The chicharron
I did
taco.
chicharrones. But you see, chicharrones for us are different because chicharrones for us also means fried chicken
really?
bites. Yeah,
Oh,
it
I did
also
not know
means
that.
the pork skin.
Right.
But
yeah.
we have something called chicharrones de pollo, which are like fried pieces of chicken.
So like nuggets. Ish.
She just doesn't want to call it chicken nuggets.
I was like, you said chicken bites. I was like, nuggets.
Chick-fil-A's changing that name right now.
You know what I'm talking about? Yeah.
Actually,
Yeah, a person of color said that. Let's write it down.
We're hip now.
monetize.
Steal it. Liz is back here calling Chick-fil-A right now. She's like, a gay person of color said that. They're like,
Yes.
Did y'all see the? Did y'all see?
Right.
Did y'all see the white lady who?
Next one.
Y'all saw the white lady who invented the hair bonnet?
Get the fuck out of here.
Oh, she's selling it for $99.
Wow.
Talking about what it does for you and everything.
Women been wrapping their hair with for years.
where is this? I need to know where this is.
It's online.
Where online?
So you can find it in like
White hair
boutiques.
bonnet.
Yeah, wherever white women shop.
It's the same shit with a bonnet when they had
Jones
Bank.
It's silk though. We're like, yeah, that's $5 at any store.
Jones Bank.
Basically.
Go to
When
Sally's.
they came salad, right? The do-rag, same thing. The hair tattoos, i.e. called parts. I was like, a hair tattoo.
Yeah, what's up?
Going back to the food. Do you do? I can't remember what it's called.
Christian didn't eat tonight.
Oh, I know what you about to talk about.
No, you don't. You don't.
You talking about
this?
this?
Oh, I haven't had it,
You
but
talking about
I've
the
heard
pork
you talk about
chop
it
where it's
before.
fried on the
That's
side?
what I was thinking about.
Oh no.
That's what I was thinking about. That shit.
That's chuleta cancan.
Yeah.
I
That's
want
only
that
made
shit.
on a. You see, the thing is, you want to eat it right, and I wouldn't make it because I wasn't grown in that. I wasn't raised in that area of Puerto Rico.
Yeah, Christian told about it when he went to Puerto
You
Rico.
have to go to a certain part. Now people make it everywhere, right? But if you want to eat the right one, it's like going to New York and getting like Southern food.
Oh, no.
You see what I mean?
do
They
that
say you
shit.
could go to Harlem and find good
Nah,
stuff, but I'm like, it's not the same.
They also say you
It's
can
not
go
the
to
same.
like. I'm not gonna call restaurants out. Just kidding.
Okay,
I erased
okay.
that. I take that away. Delete that. Delete that. Delete that. I was like, no. I was gonna say
that's some
something,
shit.
and I was like, no.
I mean, this is edited, so.
Yeah.
If you sure, we can.
El Superman?
We can go there. We don't. I don't give a
Yo,
fuck.
you're trying to start some beef over here. But if you want to talk about it, give me one more beer.
El Superpan. Oh, actually, off record, speak on it. I want to hear
They
it.
got a nice
No,
Cuban.
we can turn it off. Yeah.
No, yeah, off
I like the
record.
Cuban over there.
Well, we do it afterwards. I'm going to ask you afterwards.
If you trust us.
It's not.
If you.
If that's a bad Cuban, I need to taste a good Cuban. Because that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Well.
No. But,
Like honestly, no. You can keep this on the. He was the only person making Hispanic food when I first moved here, and I respect him.
Okay.
I think that he has worked incredibly hard to build what he has. I fully respect him.
Thank you.
I think it's a fusion that can get people confused when eating our food.
True.
Because it's not Cuban nor Puerto Rican, not anything. It is his own take on food. It's like adding bread crumbles on mac and cheese.
Or raisins.
Or
No. It was not that.
that's like level.
No.
That's gentrification.
That's just like
The breadcrumbs on mac and cheese is unorthodox, but it's good. That's a little crunch.
you see what I mean?
Raisins, food.
It's like raisin is just like out of control. Why are you doing that? But you know, it's like
belong in brand. That's
you
it.
know, he does his own thing.
That's it.
I think that he does his own thing. Congratulations to the people that eat there. But it's not Puerto Rican. It's not Cuban. It's not our food. It's just
a
not.
take
It
on
just
it.
isn't.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Actually, the
Like
best Cuban I had was in Miami for obvious reasons.
Well, that's not fair.
used to be this
Without
place-
being to
We're talking
Cuba, I haven't been to
about
Cuba.
Atlanta.
there,
I haven't been to
there
Cuba,
used
so.
to be this place called Cool Corner in Atlanta. Look it up. Google it. Cool Corner. And it was an older man and an older woman that used to make their own pork each morning. And let me tell you, man, it was the best Cuban sandwich I ever had in my life. And then they passed away. However, the lady that worked with them moved to Havana Sandwich for a little bit, but now she opened her own Cuban
Where's it?
sandwich. I can't tell you the name. It is in Midtown, and she is working. She doesn't have the exact recipe from what I heard because I don't eat it anymore.
All right.
But I heard that the Cuban is still really, really, really great.
Good to know.
All right, I'm Cuban
to
sandwich
know.
hunting right now. So.
Right?
You're not gonna
But-
get it. You're not gonna get your hands on a great Cuban sandwich.
Well,
anymore.
okay, if I can't find a great one, I want to find the best one I can.
Just don't go to Fonda Latina.
Okay.
Oh, I haven't
Yeah,
been there.
Fuck them. I don't know who it is.
I haven't been.
La Fonda.
I've never actually been to La Fonda.
Ooh.
You really? Not any of them?
That's the one on Ponce, right?
Oh,
They have more than one location.
that's rough, bro.
They have more than one location.
They serve chips and salsa, and they serve paella. Do not trust that ever.
Oh, wow.
I'll be like, yo, this is
No, they
lit.
serve that.
Well, yeah.
Liz, thank you, Liz.
no.
So the Cuban sandwich that I was talking about, thank you, Liz, is called Crazy Cuban, and I want to talk about this because I want everybody to go. It is on. I just cut myself. It is on 14th Street. It's Crazy Cuban.
Oh, 14th.
This is the person.
that's close.
This is the person that used to work with the people from Cool Corner, and she is making his recipes now. And let me tell you, if you want to eat a Cuban sandwich, go eat there.
Crazy Cuban, huh?
Crazy Cuban.
Oh,
They closed
dope.
now.
But the dish that I'm curious about, it's kind of like a lasagna.
Pastelón with plantains. Yes. Yeah, so I made it for something that I don't want to talk about yet because you guys are going to ask me a question that I want to put them in.
Okay.
So, but pastelón, I've only made it once, and I made it for a private dinner. Yes.
I think Jen's here. Come in!
Hello, who's this? Jen! Hey! It's Jen Price, everyone. Hey.
Jim Price in the house.
How are you?
Gang's all here.
Justin, how are you?
Justin,
How are you?
Christian.
I'm Luis. Nice
Sorry,
to meet you.
who?
Right.
Oh, yeah, he's a cool guy.
Yeah, I've heard,
He's
I've heard
aight.
good things about
He's
him.
alright.
Thank
liar.
you.
Her shirt says, "Chicks get lit."
He's alright.
That's tight.
You know, he's Myron.
Hey,
Have you not met Myron before?
I've not met anybody.
You see, that's the thing.
Just on Instagram.
Instagram.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like we know.
Who invited you?
Oh, are we doing this right now? Are we doing this?
Have you spoken to?
Specifically?
Fuck you.
Have you
Fuck
spoken
you.
to
Yeah, who
Myron prior?
specifically reached out?
I don't know. It was from the Atlanta podcast. So I don't know.
Bam! That's what you're supposed to say. Thank you, Jen. Thank you, Jen. Jen is with us in the house. Thank you, Jen.
I'm making friends and enemies right now.
Nah, you good.
We can't fall out 'cause we've been friends.
You good.
Have you ever met Myron?
I've not met any of these.
Yeah.
It's my first time
Yeah.
in person.
Yeah.
I've met, you're the only.
I know,
your
the only
face
person. Yes, this is Liz, by the way.
Yes, we met.
Oh, great. Did you just kill something?
You got the nap?
Mosquito.
We got him? Did we get him?
I don't know if I got
We're
him.
good?
I said earlier I was gonna
Now, we're coming to the end of this
Okay.
episode. Is there anything that you want to enter into?
Yeah,
it?
I would love to talk about. Find us at www.damesandregs.com. Mm-hmm. You can email us through the website if you want to volunteer, if you want to buy tickets, if you want to find out more. You can also find us in Instagram at Dames and Dreggs Beerfest. That's our handle. And then something that I just want to tell people, if you want to do something, do it.
Nice.
Don't sit and wait. Nobody's going to do it for you.
Man, you need to be my
It's
motivational
beautiful.
speaker, man.
Welcome.
Thank you. Now, at the end of every episode, we like to give an ATL salute to somebody in Atlanta that's doing great. And when we have a guest on the podcast, we hand that responsibility over to them. So is there anybody in Atlanta that you would like to give an ATL salute to?
Yeah, so I would love to give an ATL salute to Chow Club Atlanta. They are an underground dinner club that...
Underground sounds dangerous.
Yeah, it is a little underground. It's a little, it's not shady, though. It's a great underground dinner club. They do a different ethnic style cuisine every month. And they hire different chefs throughout the year to cook every month. I was part of the one in January, but they have people from all over the world making food. And I love them because they actually find people that are trying to make it at home or trying to make it small.
Yeah.
And they give a really big platform to them. And you cook. You cook for about 65 people in a community kitchen, host a beautiful dinner. And yeah, I want to give them a shout out to them. They're
So you said
amazing.
they hire different chefs. They hire chefs according to the cuisine?
Yes.
Oh,
so
that's dope.
we did a Puerto Rican meal, like a Puerto Rican dinner, for example.
Right.
They've done Korean dinners. But they never do. I guess I can say this. They never do like white American like cuisine.
We don't even know what that is.
Like, I mean, either. You know what I mean? It's
bangers and mash.
I don't know how to say that.
No, that's not American.
I don't want to say it in a bad way, but
burgers,
they don't do that. It's always like a cuisine from a different ethnicity, a different
Casseroles.
country. And they never repeat.
Casseroles.
So it's not like I can go back and do a dinner. They never repeat. They find different chefs.
That's awesome.
They constantly do it. They're incredible. They've grown so much, and they started at home.
Are they on IG?
They are Chow Club Atlanta.
Chow Club Atlanta. I'm gonna follow.
They started.
Follow them
It
right
started
now.
in Amanda Plum's home, which is one of the organizers, and Jolanda is Johanna is the other organizer, and they started at their home. People cooked in their kitchens, and now they use community kitchens to host their dinners.
That's nice.
Yeah.
And it was great, man. We cooked 2 nights in a row, 120 people, completely different backgrounds, full 5-course meal. People got together, communal seating. You can't choose where you sit. It was beautiful. It was great.
awesome.
It was great.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for being on the podcast. We really
Thank you guys for having us.
finally coming on the podcast.
No, I'm about to kill both of you motherfuckers.
After I begged you to be on
That's
the
what
Facts.
we're doing.
You
That's what we're doing.
motherfucking asshole.
You're a piece of shit, Myron.
Okay, you know what? Get the fuck out of my house. All of you. All of
That's it.
you. Right.
Peace.
Peace.
Thank you.
If you like that episode and you want to hear more of the Atlanta podcast, you can subscribe to us on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Podbean, Spotify.
Google Play.
We're on Google Play.
Yep.
We're on Google Play.
Oh shit.
And
Wait a minute. Do you have a? Oh.
Also-
yeah. You don't have an iPhone. My bad.
ooh,
Everybody doesn't have an iPhone, gentlemen.
Yeah. You're right. Only the people that matter.
well, whatever you're using, help us out. Leave a review.
Support.
Give us some stars. However the fuck they do it on whatever you're listening. And
Thumbs up.
follow us on Instagram.
Yes, please.
We have quite the following. You get some exclusive content on there.
Videos from
Because
my
we have
shitty
our own Instagram
phone.
thought, Justin.
Yeah, we got an Instagram thought, Justin.
I be thotting.
Follow us at The Atlanta Podcast. See you next time.
Peace.